Hello everybody, my name is Cotangent Theta and this is Over-Optimistic. Last time I talked about how I reached Platinum on my alt account at the end of Season 6. Now I've finished my Season 7 placements with, I guess you could say, mixed results. Now I don't necessarily mean in terms of my own performance. I think I actually did pretty well on my placements. On my main account in Silver, I won 9 out of 10 placement matches. The one I lost, I was sort of going into it at the end of the evening. The previous match that I won, I felt I was already sort of slowing down and making a lot of mistakes, and so I wasn't playing too well and I lost that one placement match. The other ones, I played pretty well, won all of them. Now on my higher ranked alt account, I won 7 out of 10 games. The first loss was on Watchpoint Gibraltar. I went soldier on attack, we pushed it pretty far, we got to point B, and then on the third point, they had a really solid Widowmaker who was just shutting us down. We didn't really have a plan to deal with it. On defense, somebody else picked soldier. I went to Zenyatta, and there were 2 points where I just straight up lost us the game with my poor ultimate usage. First one, point A, we were holding them under the bridge. I decided to try to go around and take the high ground behind my team, which was a very poor decision. It was too far away, it was out of the range of my Harmony and Discord orbs, and I was not there with my team to use Transcendence to save them from the Dragon Strike, which killed them and enabled the enemy team to push to point A. Now on point B, again, we were holding them in the middle of the shuttle. There were 10 seconds remaining, and I preemptively used my ultimate, just because YOLO, I guess? I don't know. I was like, alright, I'll use my ultimate here, stop them from pushing in. Unfortunately, their Zenyatta popped his ultimate, his Transcendence, he pushed in and started overtime. Then their Zarya grabbed us. I had no counter ultimate to protect the team, and we were wiped, and they pushed the payload to point B, and they pushed it pretty easily then all the way to where we had pushed it. Very unfortunate. I had 2 points where I could have won the game with my ultimate, and unfortunately I wasted it. Well, I was completely out of position to use it the first time, and I wasted it the second time. Now, the second loss was on Eichenwald. This was a bit of a mess. On defense, well, I was Zenyatta. I used my Transcendence in response to a Dragon Blade, but it turned out the Genji was just up in the air, slicing down our Pharah and Mercy, so my Transcendence was completely useless. And then they just rolled over us, took the point. Our team was not able to group up and seriously contest them for the rest of that push. On offense, we didn't have a tank, so I went Reinhardt, and I made some pretty bad decisions, like pushing up left when all the enemy was to the right. And that meant that I wasn't making any space for my team to engage and shoot down the enemy. So as a DPS and support main, my instinct is to kind of go away, go where the enemy isn't, and then find a good line of sight to shoot them or to make sure that my team is healed. As a tank, I need to have sort of a very different instinct there, and to go up and engage the team, putting myself right in the line of fire to be an effective tank. That way you start engagements, you create space for your team, and you allow your DPS to do their job. Since I wasn't doing any of that, we unfortunately were not able to engage properly and take that point. There was also a spot in there where I wasted my ultimate because I didn't react quickly enough to the enemy Reinhardt's fire strike. I had enough time in there to get my hammer down, but unfortunately I just wasn't quick enough on the draw there, and he got his shield up just in time to stop me. Of course, since I wasn't in front of my team, they weren't really with me, there's a good chance it was going to be a wasted ult anyway, but still something to keep in mind, to have a bit faster reflexes for when that enemy Rein puts his shield down. The final loss was on Newman Body, and I felt like we had a pretty strong hold on the first point until they just sort of rolled over us. I wasted my ultimate a couple of times, first to counter a Genji ultimate, which was completely unnecessary because our Reinhardt shut him down immediately. Second one, I was chasing a soldier off the high ground, and I lost track of him, but I used my ultimate anyway, and it ended up being a waste because all I got was a single Lucio who was immediately rezzed. Then that same soldier went around back, snuck onto the high ground, and ulted our whole enemy team, wiping us out and allowing them to take the point. After that, our team sort of fell apart and we didn't have a lot of cohesion, and I was making a lot of poor judgment calls and getting into poor positions, taking fights that I couldn't win, also using my ultimate in situations where it wasn't that great. I took the high ground, overlooking the final point, to use my ultimate, but unfortunately I was in direct sight of their diva, who simply dove onto me and basically made my ult. Well, it wasn't useless, I still got basically 3 kills with it, but, well, it was suboptimal, I died. We were actually able to hold that, so I will say it wasn't a complete waste of the ultimate, but there might have been better times to use it. And immediately after that, right, I went off on this crazy flanking mission behind them, which was totally absurd. And then I was getting myself into bad positions later on in the match. I wasn't able to get onto the payload to contest at the last moment. So overall, not the best play from me in that round. On the other rounds, I played pretty well and won the rest of those games. Now, why do I say then that we had mixed results on these placements? Well, it's not about how I did, it's about where I placed, which is not horrible, but it's still a little bit less than I expect from that kind of performance. So you recall that on my silver account, I won 9 out of 10 placement matches. So what happened to my SR? It went from 1704, where I ended last season, to 1883. This is not like the worst case scenario, but from placements I would kind of expect more than that. To put this in perspective, if I gained or lost a flat 25 SR for a win or a loss, I would still be higher after those placement matches than where I actually got put, which is a little ridiculous to me. What's the point of these placement matches every season if they're not going to be a little bit more aggressive about where they're trying to adjust you to, right? If it's just sort of the same old stuff, the same old mechanics under the hood, and it's just hiding your rank for 10 games, that feels pretty pointless to me. Now, on my platinum account, which I actually lost platinum and went back down to gold before the end of Season 6, so I was starting off at 2465 SR. So, very high gold. After winning 7 out of 10 placement matches, I actually lost SR and went down to 2448, which is a little bit disappointing. You win most of your placement matches, and then you get a lower rank than you had before. And again, it's not a huge difference, but it's a little bit frustrating to be doing pretty well and then going and losing SR. I think I would be more upset about it if I was still platinum at the end of the previous season and then I ranked down to gold after those placements. As it is, it's like, alright, whatever, I'll rank up from there, and it's fine. But still, like, I don't know what's going on with this SR system. I'm not going to turn this video into a rant about Blizzard's SR and MMR, performance-based SR gains, or whatever like that. But I do think it's a little disappointing that you have such a good showing in placements, and then you don't really get a lot out of it. So, last episode I said that I was going to use the results of my placements to inform what I'm going to do with my over-optimistic series. And I finally decided what I'm going to do. Now, after my placements, I ranked up to gold on my main account. It was fairly easy with my current skill level. I've been training a lot, as you know. I've been reviewing all my VODs, as you know. It was pretty easy and straightforward to get to gold. I only lost maybe 2 or 3 matches along the way there. So since I got to gold on that account, I'm going to do a bronze to gold recap. So that'll be a short video just recapping everything I've done thus far to get to gold skill level and how you folks who might be at a lower skill level can hopefully do the same. After that, I'm going to start using my new account for the series and ranking up from there, and only use my old account for practicing new heroes. So, during my placements for my silver account, what I didn't tell you is that I wasn't actually going Soldier and Zenyatta the whole time. I was actually flexing. I had a Lucio out there, I had a Mei, I had various tanks. So I wasn't just going my mains. So that's why I sort of feel comfortable now using this lower ranked account to practice new heroes, and just going, well, whoever I think is going to win us the match on the new higher ranked account. Be that my mains, Soldier and Zenyatta, or whoever I feel like I need to flex to win the match. And hopefully my training as these other flex heroes on my lower ranked account is going to help me out when I need to pull those heroes out in a clutch situation at higher ranks, high gold, and platinum. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Next up is going to be my bronze to gold recap, followed by some VOD reviews from my higher ranked account. And I also have another guide in the works. This one is going to be about training your brain in order to improve your game sense. So make sure you hit subscribe if you don't want to miss that video. Everybody, my name is Cotangent Theta, and this has been Over Optimistic. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I hope you all have a great day, and remember, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing badly.